Yeah, I was gonna drop my notebook on the floor and talk about fairy slut. Cold iron kills them. I bet you didn't know that. I read lots of D&D. I know everything about succubuses. They had a topless picture in the Demons and Deities handbook. My cousin had it. That and the harpy were. Those pages were well folded over. Monster manual. How many hit dice does a harpy have? I don't know. But she sings really good. I've been buried in mermaid stuff, so G-rated mermaid stuff. It's a school play, which I usually don't talk about my job. Usually I talk about my romantic life. I promised myself I wouldn't because it's getting tough, but I might have found a new way to meet ladies, because I only use the apps because I don't know how. I keep swiping them the wrong way and be like, no, bring the last lady back. Why do you keep... And why don't you show me more than one lady at the same... Like, would any other search engine work like that? Like, oh yeah, show me one truck at a time that is nothing like I requested. Sorry for comparing you to trucks, ladies. You're nothing like trucks. Louder. Yeah, so what I found to do, I'm going and kicking it old school with meeting ladies now. So I'm meeting them the way I used to, which is on the bus. Yeah, I met a nice lady on the bus on Monday. She was very nice. And she asked me where I was going, and I said, to a comedy show, and asked her where she was going. She said, home to a halfway house. And I should have said, ding. But she seemed to be into me, so I was like, and it's not the thing she did wasn't that bad. I mean, who among us hasn't done a bad thing or two? I'm sure it'll be fine. It doesn't. She did it for love anyway. I want a woman who can commit, even if it's federal offenses. It'll be fine. It'll be good. Who among us has not shot up an Uber? The guy lived. I'm sure this is a great idea. There's nothing that will go wrong. I don't know. I just felt safe around her for some reason. Oh, that's about it. Okay. I've been talking about autism a lot lately. Not for any particular reason. I dated the first lady I ever had a crush on. I went on a date with her 30 years later. So the long game works, fellas. You hand them a unicorn and run, and just a short 3 decades later, she'll be looking you up on Facebook. That's right, she came on to me. Well, she came at me. And then we went to the mall, and she told me... Went to the mall and she told me her big secret was she had Asperger's, and I was like, of course you do. Every woman I ever dated has had Asperger's, but we didn't know it. And I don't say that as a mean thing. I think it's hard to have. I don't even think you can say Asperger's anymore, but it's hard to say autism because people have a different thing in mind when they think of autism, or at least my generation does. Usually it was boys that couldn't talk. Or who were profs at the University of Alberta engineering department. But there's lots of people with autism. They just, they run around and they can't have perfectly normal lives, and no one understands what they say, and their stomach hurts all the time. It's a crazy thing. Again, I'm not trying to be mean, because it made me think of my head, because I think about my love, because my last love, she passed away, and I wasn't going to talk about that either, but did she have, there was no autism in her, just her her dad, her mom, and her siblings, and all her ex-boyfriends. And it makes me wonder about myself, like, what? It's just mind-blowing, because I've always thought I've been a self-diagnosed mentally healthy person my whole life. Except for, you ever read the definition of a disorder and realize that it's your personality? I thought that was making me interesting, the way I tell the truth at inappropriate times and won't take milk on my cereal because I don't like the texture. I gotta finish up pretty quick. The whole point I'm trying to make, though, but I am not trying to insult autistic people, because I learned to have sex with an autistic lady, and she was very thorough. She was also very angry, because she was also playing Dungeons and Dragons, and I didn't tell her I was a virgin, and afterwards she was so mad. She was like, "What? I could have summoned a unicorn with you." Instead of wasting my time teaching you doggy style and saying the following words, anyway, you get the idea. I hope that doesn't sound like I'm... Well, I have autistic people to thank for the reason I'm so good at sex. Because, like every woman is different in general, but autistic people are very, very different in their sexual preferences. Some of them will do anything, some of them don't want any sex at all, and that's perfectly normal. But some of them can enjoy sex with accommodations, and those are the types I always got. So I learned to be very varied in my love making. I'm like, put all of your weight on me. And it was like, do not let your skin touch mine under any circumstances. It's crazy making love to an autistic woman. She's like, she'll let me choke her, but she doesn't want her hair touching the back of her neck. She'll do anal, but she has to wear headphones and have a tablet, or she can't. Because she can't come when she hears the sound of my breathing. All right, thanks everyone. I think I'll...